There used to be a time in American history where there was a robust culture of participation and creation around elections and voting. That culture really lasted up until the time of television. There's really no good reason, particularly at the local level, why we couldn't try to revive this culture of the joy of voting. And so I wrote an essay about this for The Atlantic magazine, and the response to this was really far out of proportion to what the piece was. People were just really, they had their imagination sparked, and we thought, wow, we should actually turn this into a project. And then with the support of the Knight Foundation, that's exactly what we did. The goal of the Joy Voting Project was to seed projects in 4 different cities: Miami, Philadelphia, Wichita, and Akron. My colleague Ben and I went to each of these cities and spent time with different civic innovators in each community.
We went to each of these 4 cities and we got to just brainstorm, talk about what the culture of voting was like in that city, and we got a whole range of different project ideas, and then we chose in each city 5 of them that we felt were creative and had the potential to be joyful. In the course of really just a few months, these projects went from brainstorming and ideas to a full-fledged festival, performance, art installation, more joyful, more creative, more unexpected. It was incredible to see how people really just ran with it and created some amazing projects.
It's a great cross-section of cities. They're larger and smaller, they're bluer and redder. Each has its own distinctive culture.
In Akron, the projects ranged from plays on the back of a pickup truck to day of election parties.
In Philadelphia, of course, a lot of the activity ended up being catalyzed around just the historic nature of that city itself. The very place, the buildings and the spaces of Philadelphia are telling a story about the origins of democracy in this country.
There were citizens from a dozen different countries who now were American citizens voting for the very first time.
Miami, there's a culture of politics that is around play and parties and the life of fun that is Miami, but is also about really activating immigrant voice.
Had block parties in different neighborhoods, bringing people together in their community and at the polls on election day and during early voting. In Wichita, there was graffiti jams with local bands.
This is a city of innovators, heartland context of values that are about deep tradition and, again, that sense of place. And it's just 4 cities, 4 snapshots of ways to be American, ways to vote, ways to claim your democracy.
If people think of voting not just as a duty, but as something to be a part of, something to inspire their friends to be a part of, and something to make art and celebration and community around, an initial pilot project like this could fundamentally change the culture of voting in each city and across the country.
Politics is not just for the professionals who are consultants and pollsters and money people. This is for us, everyday citizens, just to come back out there and play. And for us, that's a success. If I show up and participate in this act of creation, I'm not just having a fun time, I'm actually reclaiming my democracy.